All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. Up front will be Kyle Holden and Jared Heasley. On the second row is going to be Mark Nelson and Ray Hillhouse. The third row will be Steven Gibson and Jeff Hinkle. Keep an eye on Jeff tonight. He is the king of tire saving. This could be another win for him. William Mann Jr., Mike Smith on the fourth row. Kevin Reed, Nick Marco rounding out the top 10. Richie West starting 11th. Zach Henson in 12th. Mark Dantuma starts 13th. Austin Habel in 14th. Brian Oshinska starts in 15th. And Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, up in race control tonight. Hey, good evening, Richie. How's it going? Everybody lined up on the start-finish line, getting ready for the drop of the green. Zach Henson has not made the grid. Now tonight they can go quite a ways on fuel. They can go 55 to 60 laps on a tank, so they could do this on one pit stop, but I promise you, good evening, Jared. Hey, Jared, don't text and drive. You're on the front row. They can go and do this entire race on a single pit stop. However, just due to tire wear, I guarantee you none of these drivers is attempting that. Everybody on the grid about to start rolling at the track too tough to tame. The Lady in Black, Darlington, one of my personal favorite tracks. All the drivers rolling out, not seeing a lot of guys trying to get them warmed up yet. I doubt they want to put any extra tire wear on the car this early. Expect to see a lot of Darlington stripes. Expect to see a lot of close calls out there as well. Here we go. Pace car drops in. Off of turn 4, Kyle Holden leading him down. Jared Heasley right beside him. Here we go. Barney the Flag Man drops the green. They are underway at the Lady in Black. Jared gets an awesome start, sends it into 1. They're still side by side for the lead. And Jared pulls down and takes the lead. Hillhouse now up to 4th. Mark Nelson in 3rd. Kevin Reed is on a mission. Already picked up 4 spots at the start of this one. Kevin already up into the top 5. Richie West picking up 4 spots early as well. He's up to 7th. Mark Dantuma up to 9th. Austin Habel in 10th. Looks like about 4 drivers had some real difficulty getting going here. Richie West down on the apron. He's fading back quickly. However, I did give him a warning that he is not to damage that DuPont Chevrolet here tonight. Kevin Reed on the move, trying to run down Ray Hillhouse. Hillhouse said this is just about getting a good finish tonight. If he gets lucky enough to get the win, great, but he's been moving up the points, just wants to hold on to it. Kyle Holden just set the fastest lap of the night so far, as he tries to close that half-second gap to Jared Heasley. After about 10 laps, 10 to 15 laps, you'll start to see the handling go away on these cars. The big problem isn't corner entry, though. It's that right rear tire and corner exit. A lot of guys talking about how loose the car gets on the long run. Austin Habel on the march. Austin already up 7 spots. He started in 14th, up into 7th now. Mark Dantuma now up 5 spots into 8th. Richie West back to 9th. He picked up 2 spots from where he started, but looked like he was starting to make up some ground earlier and then just had some issues. Now he's got to gather it back up and move forward. William Mann Jr. down to the bottom, making the move on Stephen Gibson. Jr. now up into 10th. Gibson may have kissed the wall there. I do believe Stephen Gibson is the first to get his stripe here tonight. Kyle Holden has taken the lead from Jared Heasley early here, and Mark Nelson now up into 3rd is closing the gap on Heasley. Ray Hillhouse in 4th, Kevin Reed now in 5th. Nick Marco has had a problem back behind. Oh, let's back that up just a hair and see what happened with Nick. And it looks like Nick, the first one to get loose off turn 4. Hard lick into the inside wall. He has gone to pit road for repairs. Austin Abel closing right up to Kevin Reed's back bumper. Oh, Austin loose off 4. Manages to hold on to it, keep his foot in it, almost got the pass anyway. 10 laps in, we're seeing him get loose already. Kyle Holden has opened up a 1-second lead. Now Mark Nelson into 2nd. Heasley back to 3rd. Hillhouse in 4th place, starting to gain some ground. Kevin Reed holding on in 5th, but Austin Habel all over the back bumper. Mark Dantuma now in 7th place, starting to make his way forward. He's just over a second behind these two. He's going to make up a lot of ground as they're side by side. Habel's got the advantage into the turn. Austin Abel cracks into the top 5, moving Kevin Reed back to 6th. While they battled it out for a lap, Dantuma picked up 0.3 of a second. Jeff Hinkle will be one to watch as the laps go on. The longer this stays green, the more advantage Hinkle has here. Hinkle, one of the best out there at conserving tires. William Mann Jr., another one starting to make his way forward, currently in 9th, putting Stephen Gibson. Oh! Jr. loose off the turn. Stephen Gibson gets back by Zach Henson, trying to get a move here. Jr. gets it gathered up. Can he hold on to her? See if he's got it gathered up. Hopefully does not make that mistake again. He manages to pull ahead and open up his gap again. Richie West, who's drifted back into 11th. Mike Smith back in 12th. Brian Oshinska in 13th. Nick Marco back out on track in 15th. Kyle Holden, meanwhile, had opened up a big lead, almost 1.5 seconds, but Mark Nelson is reeling him in. Jared Heasley in third, still within striking distance, about 0.6 back. Ray Hillhouse in fourth, also starting to close in on the top three now. Austin Habel in fifth, about 2 seconds back. Mark Dantuma, oh, Mark in the wall. Kevin loose in the turn. Kevin holds it down, Dantuma slips by. Hinkle gets by, Kevin still trying to get her gathered up and going. Stephen Gibson gets by up in 8th, Kevin Reed drops all the way back into 9th. Hey, good evening, JR. How much longer before we see you on track, JR? Mark Nelson in second has not gained much here. He was closing in very rapidly, but looks like he has lost a little ground. Jared Heasley in third. Meanwhile, under attack, Ray Hillhouse has caught him. Oh, Hillhouse dives down to the bottom. Jared a little loose off the turn, manages to hold on to it. Hillhouse takes advantage, has the momentum, and gets by. I got you, JR. Looking forward to it, buddy. Hillhouse now to third. Heasley back to fourth. Austin Habel in fifth has been the biggest mover so far, up 9 spots. As he closes in, he's in the top 5 now. In fifth and is gaining on Heasley. Oh! Austin Habel gets way out of shape off turn 4. What a save that was. Kyle Holden out front, 1.4 second lead, 1.3 second lead at the moment over Nelson. Every one of these drivers already ready for a tire change here. Expect to start seeing, they did a lot of the drivers tonight talking about short pitting being the best strategy, but you have to balance that out with making sure you keep some tire and you can stretch it just enough that it's an equal amount. So would expect to see most of the drivers between lap 27 and 30 for their first pit stops. A lot of guys talking about the fact that the tire wear actually does not show that bad. Some of them after 30 laps were only showing 10 to 12% tire wear, but the car handles like much, much, much worse after that 30 laps than the tire wear would indicate. Mark Nelson in second, not making up any ground. Hillhouse now into third. Austin Habel has gotten by Heasley. He's now into fourth. Jared dropping back into fifth. Mark Dantuma closing in quickly on Heasley. Zach Henson back in seventh, about 3.5 seconds back. Henson, another one that's been moving up throughout the race. He's up 5 spots into 7th. Jeff Hinkle currently sitting in 8th. Stephen Gibson in 9th. William Mann Jr. in 10th. Jr. a little loose off. Kevin Reed closing back up. Richie West currently running back in 12th place. Mike Smith in 13th and Brian Oshinska in 14th. And you see where Kyle Holden is. 25 laps into this thing. Lap traffic's going to become an issue before too much longer. Mark Nelson has been losing ground to the leader for the last 5 or so laps. Lap traffic comes into play. It could help him. The field really starting to spread out in a few places now. 4th, 5th, and 6th place, though, all within a second of each other. Austin Habel, Jared Heasley, and Mark Dantuma. Mark's been steadily working his way up through the field, as has Austin. Austin already up 10 spots. He is just over 2 seconds behind 3rd place, Ray Hillhouse. William Mann Jr. is the first one to stop. Everybody's saying the tires make a huge difference tonight. That's why short pitting works out. They can make up everything they lost on pit road and then some. Kyle Holden, the leader, his fastest lap at 29.34. Last time by 30.96. 1.6 seconds lost. No, that time by he was 31.16. So they are losing almost 2 seconds a lap now. Lap traffic now in play for the leader. Holden quickly gets by Mike Smith. Brian Oshinska reeling in Mike Smith here as well. Mark Nelson now almost 4 seconds back from the leader. Hillhouse almost 4 seconds behind him. Austin Habel's trying to work past some of the lap traffic here. Mark Dantuma in 4th, trying to get around and close in on the top 3. Now the question becomes, how far do the drivers try and stretch this? Are there a few that are going to try and do this on 2 pit stops? And is anybody brave enough to try and do it on 1? Nick Marco has crashed. Nick definitely having a rough night here tonight. Let's back it up again and see what the heck happened here. Looked like he might have gotten loose off of turn 4 again. There it is, coming out of turn 4. The back end just snaps. He almost has it saved, but then hard into the right front on the outside wall. Bounces down to the inside wall. William Mann Jr. now on fresh tires, the only driver to have completed his pit stop. He's running down the leaders very quickly, trying to unlap himself. Last time by, William Mann Jr. did a 29.7. The leader did a 31. And you see just how quickly Jr. pulls away here. Mark Nelson gives up third. He is on pit road. The first of the top 5 is in. Looks like Nelson timed that to make 2 stops here tonight. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden out front continuing to go lap car. Ray Hillhouse is in. Holden continuing to lap every car out there he can. Kyle started the season on fire with 5 wins in the first 8 races, but having missed a few, dropped in points back to 8, has been steadily climbing his way back up. Austin Habel has had a crash. Mark Dantuma on pit road. Looks like Austin was headed for pit road, trying to get the car woed up to pit road speed, and the car just snapped on him. And it looked like Mark Dantuma just barely squeaked through there. And it looks like our leader got his stripe. Through 3 and 4, looks like he just got a little bit of the wall there. Zach Henson now up into 2nd place during this cycle of pit stops. You know these top few cars are just hoping for a caution here. Especially Kyle Holden, as many cars as he had lapped before pit stops had started, he would definitely be in position to take advantage right now if the caution came out. Mark Dantuma, Austin Habel, and Ray Hillhouse and Mark Nelson all out. Have completed their pit stops and starting to turn the speed back up. Brian Oshinska coming to pit road. Mark Nelson, after missing several races at the start of the season, has been making his way forward very, very quickly. Holy cow! Mark Nelson caught up with some lap traffic there, almost got in trouble. Kyle Holden looks like he might have had a problem off turn 4. Does Holden come down this time now that the car is starting to go away on him? No, he manages to hold on to it. Will he come down pit road? Does not look like he is slowing up for a pit stop. Holden keeps rolling. Is he going to try and do this on a single stop? There's still about 7 drivers who have not been to pit road yet. Looks like Holden may have kissed that wall again just a little bit that time by. Zach Henson currently sitting in second. Stephen Gibson now in third. Heasley runs in fourth. Jeff Hinkle in fifth. Kevin Reed in sixth. Richie West in seventh. Those 7 drivers have not been to pit road. Mark Nelson, the highest running car that has completed his stop, currently sits in 8th. Ray Hillhouse has completed his stop back in 9th. Mike Smith currently running in 10th. William Mann Jr. in 11th. Mark Dantuma in 12th, and Austin Hable sits in 13th. Brian Oshinska appears to be out of the race. Still waiting to see, does Kyle Holden try to stretch this and make it on a single stop? As several drivers talked about it in pre-race that it can be done, but would it be worth the effort? Although as of right now, 7 drivers are attempting it. Car really starting to walk around on him off the turns. He's going to have a fight to make it to the halfway point. His lead currently over Zach Henson, 17.5 seconds. Well over half a lap around Darlington, and that's how far he is. Jeff Hinkle, Jared Heasley, Kevin Reed, all out here battling. That's for 4th, 5th, and 6th as Kevin catches up to Heasley. Really surprised by the number of drivers attempting this. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson, Ray Hillhouse on fresh tires, continuing to march their way back toward the front, currently in 7th and 8th. Last time by, Mark Nelson ran a 29.66. The leader ran a 31.5. Mark Nelson almost 2 seconds a lap faster than everybody in front of him. Just a few more laps to the halfway point, and it looks like these 7 drivers might actually pull this off. Then the long-term question becomes, do they benefit from it? Or does it come back to bite them? Kevin Reed now in 6th. Mark Nelson in 7th. 8 seconds back. Hillhouse sits in 8th. 5 seconds back from him. Richie West in 9th. Almost 8 seconds back. Mike Smith in 10th. 12. Almost 13 seconds back from him. William Mann Jr. currently in 11th. He was the first to hit pit road. Mark Dantuma comes by and takes 11th. And the leader right behind this battle. Oh, Dantuma. Wow, we've got drivers getting loose right in front of the leader, but they're going to move over and let him by. Mark Nelson has caught the leader and about to unlap himself. Mark shoots to the bottom underneath the leader. He is back to the lead lap. If you're Kyle Holden, you got to be thinking about getting to pit road quickly. They have just passed the halfway point. The leaders can make it from here on fuel. How much further is Kyle going to stretch this? He is not aiming for pit road. No, he goes on by. Kevin Reed now in the top 5 after getting past Jared Heasley. And Mark Nelson is coming around to start picking them off. Oh, Heasley gets loose. Nelson shoots really low here and manages to clear. Zach Henson on pit road. Jeff Hinkle on pit road. Jared Heasley is in. The leader is still out. Mark Nelson, meanwhile, clicking away on everybody, now up into 3rd. Stephen Gibson gives up 2nd place. He is on pit road. Only Kyle Holden and Richie West left to hit pit road. Kyle Holden, meanwhile, getting passed by a lot of guys on fresh tires. And getting past putting some more cars a lap down, including currently 3rd place Kevin Reed. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson now up into 2nd. How much longer is Holden going to push this? He should be at the limit on fuel. Richie West is in, only the leader. Here he comes, the leader. A little squirrely getting onto the apron, but Kyle Holden is in. Now Mark Nelson will take the lead here. Several different pit strategies playing out here tonight. Which one is going to win the day? Those drivers we saw pitting around lap 36 or 35 to 40, we should see them in starting in about 10 laps. Nelson now in the lead. Holden still in his pit stall. Left sides are up and going on. Holden is rolling. He's currently scored in third. Holden in third. Mark Dantuma in fourth, reeling him in quickly. But Holden will now be out here with the freshest tires. He is 23 seconds behind Mark Nelson. Nelson will have to pit one more time. Holden will not. Ray Hillhouse in second place will have to pit again as well. Seven drivers can make it without another pit stop. The rest of the field has to stop at least one more time. And a caution could throw all these strategies for a loop. Back in second place, just 13 seconds ahead of Kyle Holden, but last time by Kyle, 1.5 seconds a lap faster than the top two. Will Holden be able to catch them before they come in for their final stop? Mark Dantuma now sits in fourth. Zach Henson has played this strategy perfectly. He's now up into fifth. Austin Habel currently running in sixth. William Mann Jr. doing great as well in seventh. Jeff Hinkle surprisingly back in eighth place. I honestly thought that this would be a win for Hinkle tonight. A track that is tough on tires and really tricky to drive. Definitely a Jeff Hinkle kind of track. Jared Heasley has slipped back into ninth as he sets sights on Hinkle. Kevin Reed currently running in 10th. Mark Nelson is in for his final stop. Hillhouse now to the lead. Surprised to see Mark Nelson in this early. I did not expect him for another 5 or so laps. Hillhouse now on his way into pit road. Kyle Holden about to reclaim the lead here. Now the question is going to be, does Kyle's strategy pay off? We're about to see several cars on pit road getting their final stop. A wad of cars just ahead battling. William Mann Jr. and Jared Heasley coming by Richie West. Austin Habel now on pit road himself. Kyle Holden comes off pit road. Kyle Holden now in the midst of all these lap cars. Mark Dantuma gives up third. He is in. What a turn of events we have going here with all these different strategies. Zach Henson in second, almost 13 seconds back from the leader. Heasley in third, almost a full lap down. And only 3 cars left on the lead lap. And the third place car right in front of the leader. It's Darlington. Anything can happen. Here we go. Look at Kyle Holden. He shoots down underneath Jared Heasley. He's putting the third place car 1 lap down. Heasley's not going to take it lightly, but can't do anything with him. Now 2 cars remain on the lead lap. The leader, Kyle Holden, and Zach Henson, 13 seconds back. William Mann Jr. on pit road for his final stop. Kyle Holden could potentially drive a bit more conservatively. Austin Habel, having just completed his pit stop a few laps ago, now trying to run down Mark Dantuma. Jeff Hinkle starting to march his way forward now. He is now up into 4th. Mark Nelson has completed his final stop, currently running in 5th. Mark, some of the freshest tires out there, the highest running driver to have completed his 2nd stop. The next car for him, Jeff Hinkle, just 2 cars ahead. Whoa, gutsy move down to the bottom. They almost make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. And Mark Nelson picks off 2 at once. Moves his way up into 4th. And he's only 2.5 seconds back from 3rd place, Jared Heasley. The number of different strategies going on here tonight is a bit crazy, and the benefits we're seeing for some of these drivers is quite amazing. I don't think Mark Nelson has enough laps. I think he'll be able to get himself back to the lead lap. I don't think he can come all the way back around and take the win. But he can easily run it into 2nd place as he comes by. Jared Heasley moves his way into 3rd. 2nd place, Zach Henson, just 20 seconds ahead. But a second a lap slower at the moment. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden out front just continues to cruise around. He continuing to pull away from 2nd place Zach Henson. Zach 15 seconds back from Kyle. 20 seconds currently ahead of Mark Nelson. Heasley now back in 4th. Jeff Hinkle in 5th. Ray Hillhouse in 6th. Hillhouse starting to pick some up as well. William Mann Jr. has gone to pit road. He may be done. Kevin Reed back in 7th. Dan Tuma in 8th. Austin Habel in 9th. Richie West now up into 10th. Mike Smith currently riding in 11th. William Mann Jr. out of the race. Stephen Gibson out. Brian Oshinska and Nick Marco also out. 11 cars left on the track. We knew it'd be a race of attrition. And with just under 30 laps to go, Kyle Holden may have the whole field smoked. Kyle Holden continuing to extend that lead over Zach Henson. Mark Nelson is closing the gap on Henson just a little bit at a time. Last time by, he was well over a second faster than Henson and gaining speed. Heasley back and forth. Jeff Hinkle is closing in, but Ray Hillhouse on the fresher tires on the inside of Hinkle. And Hillhouse comes by and moves back into the top 5. Oh, we've got one getting his stripe. That was a 10 of Mike Smith getting his Darlington stripe here. Holden's lead continues to grow. However, Henson may be in trouble before this one's over, as he is 14 seconds ahead of Mark Nelson, and Mark is closing more and more rapidly every single lap. Last time by, he was 1 1/4 seconds faster than the second place car. Zach is definitely the biggest mover of the night, up 10 spots into second place. He has had a great race. Can he hold on to that? As the gap continues to close. Hillhouse back and forth, stopped at the same time as Mark Nelson. Starting to close in just a little bit as well. Jared Heasley still holding on to 5th. Jared comes into tonight 2nd in points. Jeff Hinkle, who's leading the points, right behind him in 6th place. 13 points between the two of them. Kyle Holden, after missing all those races early in the season, came into tonight 8th in points. He'll get if he gets the win here tonight, he is going to make up a lot more ground. Mark Nelson also standing to make up a lot of ground. Mark picked up 3 spots in the points last week. Moving up into 7th, another driver who has missed a lot of races this season, starting to make his way forward again. Mark Nelson closing in on Zach, now less than 10 seconds behind. Hillhouse securely in fourth. Heasley holding on to fifth. Looks like Hinkle lost a little bit of ground. Back in sixth. Kevin Reed having a great run. He is now up into seventh place. Mark Dantuma up 5 spots into 8th. Austin Habel up 5 spots into 9th. Richie West now up into the top 10. Big points night for Richie West as he came into tonight 15th in points, but a lot of the drivers in front of him not in the race tonight, so he'll pick up a ton of points. Richie West will be knocking on the door of the top 10 after tonight's race. "19 laps to go for Kyle Holden on his Sunday cruise." Jared Heasley has had a problem. Oh, it looks like Jared got way loose off of turn 4. Manages to get the car out of the racing surface, but what a heartbreak. Let's take a look a little further back. It looked like him and Hinkle battling it out, and oh, no, he just got loose off turn 4. Hinkle managing to sneak by. Jared does keep rolling, but drops back into 9th. Mark Nelson now 8 seconds out of second place. Jeff Hinkle now up into 5th. Kevin Reed in 6th. Mark Dantuma in 7th. Some pretty big gaps to overcome this late in the race. Ray Hillhouse is closing in just a little bit on Mark Nelson in 3rd. But Nelson is closing in a lot on second place. Zach Henson, he picked up half a second on him last lap. 15 laps to go, but a 7.5 second deficit. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden's lead now extending to 26 seconds. And the real question at this point is, will Kyle Holden be able to lap the entire field before the end of the race? There is our leader, and there is just ahead in the turn, Zach Henson. Kyle having to navigate a little bit of lap traffic here to close in on Zach. And in the meantime, Mark Nelson now 6.25 seconds back from Zach. Kyle Holden has been dominant since the drop of the green. He stretched the fuel, did the single pit stop here tonight. And it definitely has worked. Some of the drivers in pre-race and practice were talking about the fact that you could make it on a single stop, but who would want to? 7 drivers have attempted it. 6 of the top 10 drivers only did 1 pit stop here tonight. Mark Nelson continuing to close in on Zach Henson, as is Kyle Holden. Zach may be hearing the Jaws theme in his or in his speakers right now. Nine laps to go for Kyle Holden. He is just out for a Sunday cruise at this point. Let's see, we haven't talked to race control yet. Let's give her a shout. Hey, Nicole, it's Doug in the booth. You got me? Hey, Nicole, it's Doug. You got me?
Yep, gotcha, Doug.
Hey, so who you think's gonna win then?
I'm gonna go with me.
Oh, with you. Well, it has been caution-free, so obviously you're coming out on top on this one.
You betcha. Don't have to write a lot tonight.
It has been a bit wild with all the different strategies. Were there multiple strategies going on like this last night?
Yeah, there was, because I know that my strategy last night was a one-stop pit stop also, but it didn't help me.
Well, it's obviously helped Kyle Holden, and he's about to, for the first time, I do believe, in BRR history, the entire field will be lapped by the leader.
Yeah, I think so.
All the weirdness here tonight.
Well, yeah, and this weekend kind of is weird because both races caution-free.
That would be in both at Darlington. That is weird.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be at least like 2 cautions.
Oh, caution!
Oh, you're right. Caution.
All right, good luck, Nicole, and let's we'll talk to you later.
All right.
A caution comes out with 6 to go. Austin Habel involved. Austin loose off the turn, goes spinning down the front stretch. Can't get it out of the racing line. Jared Heasley had a moment just before. But now the real question, had Kyle Holden put, it really won't matter because Zach Henson gets the wave around here. There will be 2 cars on the lead lap for the green-white checkered finish here tonight. Holy cow. And it does look like Kyle is going to come down for tires. Kyle is on pit road, 4 tires and likely no fuel. I would expect to see everybody on pit road during this stop. It looks like Mark Nelson is going to be waved around to the lead lap. What a change here at the end of this one. Zach Henson does come down pit road. Kyle Holden is out. Now, will Mark Nelson come down pit road? We should see him down this time. And let's see if we can get a quick word with the second place car. Hey, Zach, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything for Kyle?
I have an unsafe pit entry, so I think you're going to the back.
Oh, crap.
I was so mad when I saw that.
Oh, man, that is
So I think
heartbreaking.
it's gonna be up to Mark, most likely.
Well, man, you have had one heck of a run tonight. Obviously, strategy playing a big part of it, getting yourself up here in position. You're the biggest mover of the night, too.
Oh, yeah. I figured it'd be a one-stop race anyway.
Well, man, you got the job done. So far, so good. Obviously going to the back, but still an awesome run tonight, buddy.
All right, thank you.
So it sounds like Zach Henson will be dropping to the tail end due to an unsafe pit entry. Mark Nelson on pit road, but I do believe, due to being a lucky dog, he is going to end up at the tail end as well. That may very well leave Kyle Holden up front all alone. What a turn of events here late in the race. Kyle Holden was on the verge of making history, having lapped every car in the field tonight. Caution comes out, saves Zach Henson. Mark Nelson gets waved around. But as they line up, the second and third place cars are going to be way toward the back. Kyle Holden just needs a clean restart. Jeff Hinkle sitting beside him, currently scored in fifth. Kevin Reed right behind him Kevin Reed in sixth. Mark Dantuma back in seventh. Richie West now up to eighth. And here we go. Pace car is in. Kyle Holden controls the one and only restart here tonight. He's in the zone now. Fires green back in the air. Richie West managing to clear Jeff Hinkle. He gets himself into eighth. Kyle Holden checking out from the field. Mark Nelson, Zach Henson mired back in lap traffic. Kyle Holden coming out of the turn. White flag is in the air for Kyle Holden, who has dominated the entire night. Zach Henson trying to make his way through traffic just a little bit here. He gets a little tight off turn two. Are they going to try three? Wow! Kyle Holden is going to get the win. Zach Henson is going to come home in second. Mark Nelson finishes third in what was a very odd race. Let's see if we can talk to our top three. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I do, Doug. How are you?
I'm good, man. I have to say, there for a while, it really looked like you were going to run him down.
Yeah, it was deceiving, wasn't it? Oh, gosh, Kyle, he was just overpowered in this race. I was doing all I could just to maintain, so I guess I'll call that a win.
I think had it stayed green there at the end, you would have pulled off second place. Definitely an awesome run and had the strategy about perfect considering several of these guys only stopped once.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I saw Austin spin behind me, and I knew that Kyle was about to lap Zach, and I was like on edge, like 0.3 of a second I was from not being the first car lapped out. So that was wild. But yeah, I just kind of screwed up my pit laps, to be honest with you. I have a mathematics major, and I can't do math apparently. So I'll take third for all the mistakes I made this one.
Well, man, another great race. You continue to work your way up the points. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Doug.
Mark Nelson comes home in third. Zach Henson managing to finish second. And Zach, you come home in second, but I have to ask about that restart. I did not expect you to come fighting through the field there.
I was just going to go for it. You never know what could happen.
It got a little bit close on that last lap.
Oh, yeah, definitely on the back stretch.
Yes, it did. Gutsy moved down there at the bottom. It looked like you guys were going to go into the turn 3 wide, but a couple guys managed to back off. Still a great comeback, especially considering how close it came to going a lap down before that caution.
Oh, yeah. I was getting closer and closer each lap. I kept looking down, looking down, looking down.
Well, man, that was an awesome run tonight. Congratulations. You definitely earned it.
Thank you, Doug.
And finally, our winner. And Kyle, I have to say, if the caution doesn't come out, it would be the first time in BRR history that the entire field got lapped.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to get there. I saw that Zach got pretty close to Zach there, and was hoping if it went green, I would have been able to get around him and kind of make a little plaque for myself.
Dude, that was an overall awesome run. I was really surprised to see anybody try and split the race and do it one pit stop, but you actually made it work, and it didn't seem to hinder you much.
Yeah, as soon as I got down to like 20 laps to go on the tires, it just seemed to level out, and it never really dropped too much. It was definitely a handful for sure, but we made it work, and but this was basically what brought us home for the win here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have lapped everyone and all that. So that was the only reason why we did that. We just had a better strategy. Huge thank to Team Watson. Definitely hit up them for any racing setups that you guys need. We'll be coming out with some new stuff soon. A huge thanks, Doug.
And congratulations, your 6th win of the season as you continue to march your way up the leaderboard again.
Yeah, hopefully this kind of moves us up just a couple more spots, and maybe it'll help us be in contention for the championship for here at the end.
Man, great run. You're definitely going to be in contention. Great run tonight.
Appreciate it.
Kyle Holden pulls off his 6th win of the season in extremely dominant fashion. Great job by all the drivers tonight. Only one caution on 110 laps. Man, that was some awesome racing and a great job by everybody on track. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night because I will be back in the car with the new wheel, and yeah, this ought to be ugly. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.